all this crazy spending, going back to the woke policies and giving illegal aliens health care. Trump said, there's no way. Why should I meet with them? I think over the last couple of days, he's rethought that. Let's bring him into the Oval Office. Let's give him a little taste of what we gave Zelensky back in spring. This is going to be live viewing, I believe, in the Oval Office like you've never seen before, maybe an hour-long meeting, and the American people can see for themselves the ridiculous requests and demands as the Democrats hold them hostage.
That little hemorrhoid's name is Mark Alford. And Mark Alford decided, in the midst of this government shutdown fight, where Democrats are trying very hard to make sure that healthcare premiums don't skyrocket all over the country, that he would go out there and advocate for some sort of televised showdown between Daddy Trump and Democratic leadership. I mean, tell me you don't care about your constituents without telling me you don't care about your constituents. I mean, this is not a joke, people. What the Democrats are asking for here is very simple. They want to make sure that the Affordable Care Act subsidies don't expire. That way, everyday Americans aren't seeing their health care insurance premiums increase by upwards of 75%. And instead of engaging in good faith in this conversation, you got idiots like Mark Alford going around trying to blame this whole thing on the Democrats, even though it is the Republican Party that controls the House, the Senate, and the presidency. I mean, this should really tell you everything you need to know about these people. They do not care about their constituents. They do not care about the well-being of this country, because if they did, they would have taken the feedback they received at their town halls and they would have tried to incorporate it into this government shutdown fight. I mean, do you guys remember when Mark Alford just got his ass chewed because he wasn't able to acknowledge who actually started the Russia-Ukraine war? If you guys do appreciate my work and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
I just wondered if you had shared with President Trump that Vladimir Putin was the aggressor, because he keeps saying that Ukraine did it, and we all saw what happened, but he continually lies and lies and lies.
I've never heard President Trump, maybe you have that on file, I've never heard him say that Zelensky was the aggressor in this. Did he say that? I don't believe he has. I don't have a close personal relationship with President Trump where I can go in the Oval Office and say, look, President, I hope you know that that Vladimir Putin is the aggressor in this. I think the world knows who is at fault in this, and that he can't have another apple in his cart, so to speak, that we have got to push back against Vladimir Putin. Now,
I mean, just think of what kind of asshole goes to these town halls, looks his constituent in the face, and says, Donald Trump didn't say that. Did he really say that? Of course Donald Trump knows that Vladimir Putin started that war. The whole world knows that. Well, Donald Trump certainly doesn't know that. The whole world saw him bring Zelensky into the Oval Office and berate him, called him a dictator, said that he and Joe Biden were the ones responsible for starting this Russia-Ukraine war. And you're here to make us believe that you had no idea at all that that is what Donald Trump had to say. I mean, give me a fucking break. These Republicans are so damn spineless. They are so damn feckless. This is a constant thing that they engage in. If Donald Trump does something bad, instead of acknowledging it, instead of owning up to it, they say, oh, I haven't heard Donald Trump say that. He didn't say that, did he? I mean, these people are so damn pathetic. Let's go on to this guy, where he says that you really need to pull your head out of your ass and actually read the Constitution.
You're not helping me. You need to take your head out of Trump's ass and start doing your representation of us. I would appreciate you taking your father's U.S. Constitution book, read it, study it, make your own lines underneath it, and get Trump out of office. The man is a dictator. He knows nothing about what he talks about.
Yeah, and these constituents have every right to be pissed off about what Donald Trump and this Republican Party is doing to their country. Donald Trump came into office. He gave himself the unilateral authority to implement these tariffs. Now farmers all over the country are being devastated by these stupid policies. And you've got people like Mark Alford just rolling over and abdicating his entire responsibility that he has to his constituents. You guys got to remember that it is at the feet of Congress. They are the ones who have the power to implement new taxes, to implement new tariffs. And when they were given a choice to actually refute Donald Trump and his idiotic tariffs, they stood by and they did nothing. And then they show up to these town halls and they just wonder why their constituents are so damn mad. Here's another farmer saying that our agriculture industry is being just obliterated by Donald Trump.
I think agriculture has taken a heck of a hit on a lot of misinformation, and he is not helping the farmer. I mean, we farm about 3,500 acres. We are going to be so far in the red after the crop comes off, sold, you can only sit on it so long. You got bills to pay, and now we're dealing with 7, 8, 9, 10% operating notes at the local bank. You know, when are you going to stand up for us instead of kissing his ass for these trade deals? And the tariffs, more so the tariffs than the trade.
Yeah, and we've obviously talked a lot on this channel about the tariffs, about how Donald Trump is impacting the agriculture industry. We've talked about these things ad nauseum, but this farmer is exactly right. Donald Trump did this in his first term. He got himself elected for a second term, and now he's doing it again. He came into office. He decided he was going to get himself into all these different trade wars. He's going to go to war with the rest of the world. He was going to turn our allies into enemies. And now farmers don't have markets to sell into because the world looked at America and said, yeah, we're not putting up with that shit. And now, right now, as we speak, they are considering another farmer bailout because Donald Trump has no idea what the fuck he is doing. I mean, we did this in his first term. We had to bail out the farmers to the tune of $29 billion. And now it looks like we're going to have to do the exact same thing, except this time, this isn't going to fix any of the problem. We're not going to have a Joe Biden to come in afterwards to clean up the mess. Donald Trump is not even a year into his second term yet. And so this whole bailout isn't going to fix any problems. These markets aren't coming back. China isn't buying our soybeans. They have went to greener pastures down in Brazil. And this was all because Donald Trump came in, he implemented these tariffs all on his own, and Republicans stood by and they let him do it. I mean, these Republicans are so damn pathetic. And you just know that they have complete disdain for their voters by the way that they try to engage in governance, the way that they are treating this government shutdown, the way that Mark Alford treats his constituents when he holds his own town hall. I mean, listen to him here. He says, well, if you didn't want to listen to my lies, well, then why'd you come?
Today, here's the problem. I kind of have to disprove a negative in that come January. Ma'am, did you want to yell something back there? Stand up.
Hi.
Okay, if you didn't want to hear my lies, why did you come here? All right? If you don't want to hear anything I say, why did you come here? All right?
How about you don't hold town halls where you are going to come talk in front of your constituents, and instead of, dealing with reality on the ground, you lie to their face about every single thing under the sun. People did not come to your town hall to listen to your lies. People came to your town hall to address their concerns. You've got this policy and this policy and this policy, and it's impacting me in this way and this way and this way. And because we live in a representative democracy, these people, they should be able to think that, yeah, maybe my congressman is going to listen to me. Maybe he's going to take what I have to say and take it back to Washington, D.C. Maybe he's actually going to try to address some of these issues. But that is not what these Republicans are doing, guys. They are not acting in good faith, especially when it comes to this government shutdown stuff. They think that they can go it alone, that they don't need any of the Democrats' help, that they don't need to compromise at all. And that is just not how our government is supposed to work. Like I said, these Republicans have to have a handful of Democrats to sign a funding bill to get over the finish line. So to think that you can just go it alone, that you can treat Democrats like shit, that you're not going to have to compromise on anything, just shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the position that they are actually in here. And, you know, it's really funny because Mark Alford's own constituents said to his face that they know Trump is not looking out for their best interests.
Look, Trump is not a perfect person. I did not vote for a perfect person. You did not vote when you voted for Joe Biden. I truly believe, though, that Trump has the best interests of Americans at heart.
He's got the best interest of Putin. Putin and all the other dictators. That's who he wants. He doesn't care about us. He cares about his dictator friends.
That guy's exactly right. Donald Trump has been cozying up to dictators and tyrants. He doesn't care about the American people. He's more worried about getting his authoritarian rocks off and being friends with Putin than he is actually getting anything done that would help the American people out. We know this by the way he is approaching this government shutdown fight. If he actually cared about the better interest of the American people, why would he call off the meeting with Democrats? Why would he go around saying that he's going to play hardball, that Democrats aren't getting anything? Why would he go out there and make up lies about how Democrats are trying to get all these woke policies? They're trying to get all these transgender for everyone. They're trying to get health care for illegal. Why is he doing all that shit if he's actually looking out for the better interests of the American people? These Republicans are in a cult. They live in a fantasy land. And whenever Daddy Trump does anything wrong, they just turn their head the other way and pretend it didn't happen. When their constituents call them out at their own town halls, they turn the other way and pretend it didn't happen. If they actually cared about their constituents, they would take their concerns, they would take their grievances, they would take them back to Washington, D.C., and they would actually try to govern for the entire country. That is not what these assholes are doing. And instead, you got people like Mark Alford going out there saying, well, let's do a televised cage match between Donald Trump and Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. These people are an unserious people. And the first chance we get, every single one of these Republicans should be voted out of office. They do not know how to govern. They do not care about their constituents. And if there's one event that can show us all of that, it's it's this government shutdown fight where they think that they can just steamroll right over the top of Democrats instead of trying to save health care for the American people. These people should be absolutely ashamed of themselves. And like I said, the first chance we get, every single one of these assholes needs to be voted out of office. So I'll leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that pushes back against this MAGA media machine that just launders all of this terrible behavior for Donald Trump and his acolytes day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. If you guys want to go a step above and beyond that, you can become a member right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month, or you can head over to politiscape.substack.com where you can have my content delivered directly to your inbox every single day without the doom scrolling, without the algorithms. And the cool thing about over at Substack is I actually own the data over there. So if Donald Trump were ever to come after these platforms like YouTube, at least I would have some way to actually reach out to you guys. So until next one, guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.